Howdy, 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 everybody. I am RJ Smith. Welcome to this thing of ours, Crazy News Channel. This is the Crazy Podcast. Welcome aboard. I'm glad you're here. We have a lot to go over tonight. Uh, things are starting to heat up, I think, in the Gulf of Oman. There's been threats to the aircraft carrier, a bunch of other stuff going on. I want to get to you guys, so just close this stuff out real quick. How you doing? See, I got my little beach hat on. I'm gonna go to the beach in a little bit. 9 o'clock. I figure since it's 40 degrees, I might as well go. Fucking Christ. I'm just joking, guys. I'm just, I'm amped up. I'm excited. Let me show you why. Excuse my smacking there. I forget about I'm a Hollywood producer. I'm not used to all these microphones. I was never speaking in that. This is a whole different thing. You know what I mean? But I had to do talks all the time with books, right? It's screenplays and shit. So anyway, fuck it. Nobody cares. Shut up. Let's make sure everything is good. I think it is. And let's go. So, where are you tonight? Put it in the comments down below because I am in Florida, guys. In Florida, okay? And hey, let me show you something. Fuck it, I'm not gonna do that. It's freezing. It's like 40 degrees. 40 degrees, man. That like never happens here. Although, you know what? Last year was a little cold too. Do you guys have snow where you're at? I'd love to hear it. All right, so let's get to this. Iran faces its most turbulent political phase. Look at I pulled this up because I want you guys to see what I'm seeing. You don't see this on legacy media at all. They don't tell you about this. They don't want to be bothered, but here it is from Iran. And this was snuck out of the country. Let me start it over. Let's go here. IRG evolves from elite military. So look at these clouds. When you're hearing the news, I want you to pay attention. How they say, oh, the protests, the protest this, the protest. This was not a protest. This was an uprising. This is a kick in the face. You don't come back from this. Millions and millions and millions came out. 36,000 got killed. But still they come. They want their country back. They want their king. Crown Prince Reza is ready to come in. He was actually the Shah, the king's son, when these crazy Islamists came, right? So then they went into hiding, and he's been out of the country for 42 years because of what they've done there, And one thing I want to, so he's ready to go in, you know what I mean? Let me ask a regular question. Should we get involved? Huh? I can't hear you. Should we get involved? And if we do get involved, how? What do you think can happen? As for me, I hope it happens. I hope we do save these Iranian people who are being murdered. If we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything, right? You gotta stand up. And these people in Iran have finally stood up. Khomeini is in hiding, confirmed to be in a bunker. This is a hell of a bunker. It actually has tunnels going different places, so it's going to be interesting to see how we get to that. But yeah, look at this. Yeah. I mean, I never really understood communist or socialist countries why the people would go for that. You know what I mean? Well, look what's happening in Russia right now. Same thing. I mean, not gonna protest because it's really fucking cold there. But look, you know, Putin spent all his money on troops. By the way, Russia has now lost 1.3 and 1.3 million young men that were in the military, and they just keep throwing these young kids in the front line, not caring. They just want to keep throwing the kids in the front line to keep the Ukrainians busy. This is as bad as what Khomeini's doing, and there's so many kids dead. I'm expecting this probably happen in Russia. Now, China, I don't know if you know this. Look at them. They want freedom so bad. Wow. Today it's actually 132 rial. Oh, I'm sorry, 1.2 million rial to $1. 1.2 rial, $1. Can you imagine? If you go to buy something, you know, I don't know, $5. Carrying around 6 million real. I
If you
mean,
like this
what do you
video,
got?
then like,
Boxes?
share, and subscribe.
That's just funny to me when I think about it. You know. Okay, so you saw that. That's what's going on. I want to talk about this doomsday thing that's going on. I didn't know shit about it till, you know, I was looking through the AP service that I have, and this came up, and I'm like, not that goddamn doomsday clock again. You know, what kind of lunacy is this, right? I mean, okay, it's a good effort, but how the fuck do you know you're 85 seconds to midnight to doomsday? How do you know that? You guys have been saying that since the Cold War. Now, I will say, maybe, perhaps, it could happen that Putin puts off a nuclear weapon, or, you know, or puts a nuclear, maybe Iran puts a nuclear weapon on one of their freaking long range missiles. Gotta think about that. And there have been tons and tons and tons of Russian cargo ships landing in Tehran. I wonder what they got there. They're not passenger jets. In fact, while we're here, let's go ahead and look at flight track. There we go. All right, I'm logged in. Nope, not yet. All right, all right. Okay, so here's what we got going on, folks. We got Baghdad. I don't see any. Well, I did see a lot of planes early. I wonder if I could. If this is the date. But yeah, this is supposedly the air. That can't be the airspace because there's nothing here. There's not one plane. Look. So let's see what's happening. Okay. All right. There's no fucking planes. It's impossible. How could there be no plane? Okay. All right. Let's go to the filters. We're gonna go ahead and click on passenger planes. Okay. Now here we go. So as we look into Iran, you know, we start off at Shiraz, and then of course you go through Isfahan. Um, there's a lot of planes in there right now. That's just very odd. What the hell is that? That's a passenger jet. So is that. It's Qatar Airlines. Qatar. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that over there? Can I move? Can't move it. Okay. I'm not seeing. But if you come way over here, these are a lot a lot of U.S. planes are in here in this jump stuff. And we were the UAE is there. Yeah, this is a great tool to have, guys. I make sure I always have it because no matter where we're talking about news, it's great just to be able to have something like this so we can just fly over to that location and we can talk about it while you're seeing what I know. Um, so it doesn't look like, honestly, doesn't look like anything's happening yet. But the thing is, though, here's the thing, right, guys? We don't know whether that area is full of military jets or not. But when we take off the passenger and the helicopter and the drones, there's no military showing up. Now, how is that possible, right? How is it possible that there is no military planes? What's this? Oh, that's is that Chinese? Chinese. Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, there's absolutely zero activity showing. Now, when we go in, when the United States goes in, our ISF is turned off. They don't know where we're at because we go invisible. This new plane we got that we're flying today, man, it's totally invisible. I don't know, guys. It just seems like, why don't they just leave the country? I mean, they wanted a deal. I think Donald Trump said, I'll guarantee you safe passage to Moscow or whatever. And they said no. So now it's even the Europeans are admitting now that the regime must go. They're all falling in line now, right? Because it's definitely happening. We have so much. Let me see if I can pull that up for you too, because that's interesting to look at. Um, Naval assets of the United States in the Middle East. All right. I forgot the name of that damn I forgot the name of that app. You just look down here. Right.
First, two Iranian-backed missiles in the Middle East say they are prepared to launch new attacks. A U.S. aircraft carrier arrives in the region. Yemen's Houthi rebels have hinted that they are ready now to resume strikes on the Red Sea, on shipping there, while Kataib Hezbollah of Iraq has also suggested it could strike American
I dare
interests.
you, damn it. Oh,
this comes after
headphones.
Donald Trump has threatened to take military action against Iran, that in response to the deadly crackdown on protesters in the country.
Okay, I hate when they do this, guys. I hate it. They're not fucking protesters, right? Don't you agree? They're not protesters. Millions of people went into the street. 36,000 so far have been killed of those millions of people. They want their freedom. This is regime change. This is not a protest. Protest you can come back from, right? But the reason why they can't come back from it is very simple. The people are done. The people have had enough. I said yesterday in the stream, their aquifer is gone. They have no water for Tehran. I mean, these guys have really screwed the company up. The real, like I said at the beginning, 1.2 million real to $1 American. I think it's $1 American to 100 rubles. But this is crazy, 1.2. That means their currency is worth nothing. That's all it means. Their currency is completely, utterly done. Who the hell is going to walk around with 1.2 million real? It's the same, looks like a dollar, but it's a real. How do you do that? Oh my God. Let's finish this up here.
Me is Philip Turl, our foreign editor, to talk about all of this. So let's talk about this carrier, Philip, the USS Lincoln. It's on its way to the Middle East. What do we know about it? Why is it there? What are its plans?
Okay, so it's the Abraham Lincoln. It's a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. Believe it or not, Nadia, it has a flight.
What do you mean, believe it or not? It's a nuclear powered aircraft carrier. And then you said this, which sounds stupid.
What he's trying to achieve is three things. First of all, he wants to end the nuclear program in Iran. That is, I think, his main concern. Remember that we had a 12-day war last year in June, a 12-day war.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, when we had that 12-day war, taking out Iran's nuclear capabilities through the whole country, if they have all these missiles and they have all these things that they're going to go ahead and shoot at us, how come they didn't do it then? This is all flabber. This is the United States military, folks. And I don't know how many times I have to tell you, there's no one on the planet that can beat them. They just can't. Their weaponry is so far advanced. It's like, I don't know, 50 years ahead of everybody else. The new plane, the F-47, holy crap, it's totally invisible and can move at the sound of speed. That was the thing about stealth. You have to choose when you're building your airplane because you can't have stealth and speed. They don't work together. Does not work at all because of the hot engine. Oh, shit. Because of the hot engine, it's going to be seen.
Or last year in June with Israel, where they said that most of Iran's nuclear facilities have been destroyed, but it's still unclear exactly what remains and how. Where they said that most of Iran's nuclear facilities have been destroyed, but it's still unclear exactly what remains and how. Facilities have been destroyed, but it's still unclear exactly what facilities have been destroyed, but it's still unclear exactly been destroyed, but it's still unclear exactly what remains and how much. Unclear exactly what remains and how much.
Is this guy a lunatic?
Unclear exactly what remains and how much.
I guess he doesn't believe military people. I mean, are you kidding me? Anything to put down this? Oh God, France. Ugh. Anything to put down the American people, guys.
Uranium that Iran still has. The second point.
How do you know they still have uranium? We collapsed that whole thing. How do they have the uranium? Holy mackerel, these guys just talk about bullshit.
Is to destroy the ballistic missile production in Iran, and the third one is to delete and deplete its proxies so that it doesn't have so much influence in the region. Yeah. We've already seen Hezbollah, which has been damaged, and also the Houthi rebels, despite what they've been saying, as you've just been reporting in the last few minutes, that they were ready to attack.
Bring it on. That's what I got to say. Saddle up. Bring it on. There was once the second biggest army in the world was Iraq. What happened? There's a guy who blew up our buildings in New York. What happened? We tracked him down to a hole in the ground. I mean, literally. Think about the intelligence that it requires. And that's a big country. You're going to find a man in a hole under the ground just because? Nah, somebody told, right? Somebody always tells. There will be somebody who, if they haven't already, tell our government, the United States, or tell the Israelis what's going on. I hope this doesn't happen, but if it does happen, folks, it's going to be really bad. It's really bad. I mean, we could get hit, theoretically, we could get hit with like some drones. I mean, if they send 1,000 drones into the air, with all our ships, aircraft carriers, subs, everything, we've got the maximum 300 missiles total. If they didn't, so you see the math, right? Because that's 700 drones that are left. So then you have to go to other things. However, what we haven't seen yet, and I think we might see if this campaign happens, is the energy directed weapon. Forget what the name of it. But this thing, they say this thing can pop 700 drones out of the air like that. Man, I'm glad I live here, folks. Look, you can complain about it all you want. I'm happy here. Have no interest in going anywhere. I mind my business. and I get on. That's what I do. All right. Back to this. All right. So this has been going on since when? When is it 60? 1960, I think. Yes. No, I'm sorry. 1949. Right. So every year since then, they always come out and they say, here is the doomsday clock. And the doomsday clock is this fictional thing that they've created where they seem to believe they can. Jesus Christ. I totally forgot what I was talking about, but that's that brain injury again, you know? Um, I don't understand the doomsday clock. It just seems like another piece of propaganda, and I don't know which way that propaganda goes. It just, how can anyone say that we're 85 seconds to the end of humanity? What are you basing that on? Because we were 9 minutes. I mean, we were, what was it? Oh no, we had good. Yeah, we had good, man. Yeah, yeah. So I just don't know. Maybe that's just me. What about you guys? Do you believe this? I don't know. It seems like since I would say 1980s, right? Yeah, we had a Cold War in 1980s. Where's that? Do you see that on here? Where? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so all of and they get together and they say, this is what's gonna happen, and you don't know shit. So everybody, stay calm and carry on. That's what I got to say. So for those of you who don't know about the countdown clock, why don't I just play a little video for you so you know what the fuck I'm talking about?
It doesn't tell time. Instead, it counts down to the apocalypse. This is the doomsday clock, and if we're to ever strike midnight, well, let's just say we probably won't be here to see it. On January 27th, experts updated just how close they think we are to catastrophe. The doomsday clock was conceived by a group of scientists who worked on the atom bomb, known as the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. In 1947, the symbolic clock was first set at 7 minutes to midnight by designer Martel
Did it ever start at 1 minute after midnight and then go the whole thing? Or?
The seeds of man's oblivion.
But fears eased by 1963 with the signing of the Partial Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, and the Bulletin reset the clock to 12 minutes to midnight. Since then, the clock has been set further and closer to midnight, according to the severity of an increasingly diverse range of existential threats, determined by scientists and Nobel laureates, reaching its furthest in 1991 at a comforting 17 minutes from disaster. In 2022, the clock was kept to just 100 seconds to midnight due to issues like nuclear armament and climate change. In 2023, scientists moved the clock.
I don't know, guys. I know they think it's climate change. I don't know. I don't know that I believe that at all. I don't believe in the whole. Sure, the planet is warming. We all know that. But how do we know? I mean, we only lived, what, 70, 80, 90 if you're lucky? I mean, why the fuck are we making all this stuff up? Remember, when they first brought this up, Al Gore in the 90s, we were supposed to be right now underwater because these caps were all supposed to melt. Didn't happen, right? So that's why I think electric cars are kind of going out, really. Nobody wants to invest that kind of money. And yeah. What's this? Oh, you got to see this. Guys, this is a mudslide that happened. Where was this? In Rome, I think? In Italy? Oh, let's see. Let's open it up. Here we go.
A state of emergency declared for parts of Sicily after a massive landslide has left homes dangling off the edge of a cliff. The stunning images show the extent of the damage. Look at this, which forced over.
Holy crap, huh? Can you imagine? You have you have oceanfront property, right? And then suddenly you don't have any property. You just have absolutely nothing.
1,500 evacuations. Residents near the cliff's edge are being warned they will need to find long-term housing alternatives as the land has been deemed unstable, too unstable to return to. He's an 8-time.
Hey, you know what? That's been going on all over the world. In Florida here, where I live, we're having these huge sinkholes that are just not just swallowing land, they're swallowing houses, apartment buildings. A couple kids got sucked into the sand on the beach one day. It's really crazy. Okay, I want to tell you, I've told you about Tusi before, right? I mean, this guy is just on the ball. If you're sick of right wing or left wing politics, if you don't want to hear one side over the other, which I don't, go straight to the source. So Tusi TV, this is a great guy. He's a reporter. He's been around a long time. He's very successful. Started his own YouTube thing, and now look at 1,386,000 subscribers. Makes me look like a scrub at 95,000. But anyway, I want to play this for you because if you really want to get updated information on breaking world news like 2 or 3 times a day, go ahead and subscribe to Tusi TV. Tusi TV. Tusi TV. Go ahead and subscribe. It's free, right? So go check it out and tell me if you like it. Yeah, here's a little taste.
We now have access to footage from inside Ali Khamenei's compound and headquarters. Yes, an anti-IRGC spy, an agent, managed to film from inside Khamenei's main base in the capital in Tehran. We expect him to be underneath, obviously, in the actual tunnel networks that they have, underground tunnel and bunkers. We're going to show you that video, of course, and of course, give you guys the latest in terms of the military mobilization in the Middle East by the United States, but also by the IRGC. The Islamic Republic have now obviously cancelled all negotiations, all talks, rejected Trump's a final surrender deal, and they are now threatening Tel Aviv.
Oh,
That's nice. Apparently, they have a suicide mission. So let's talk about what is going on in this.
So look, anyway, guys, I don't want to play this. This is his thing. Go over there and subscribe. He's a great guy. You're gonna love it there. All right, but come here for other stuff too. We're coming up on my 30 minutes. I don't want to go too long because I'm trying to get a lot of you guys into this live streaming stuff. And once we have like a good group in the live stream, we'll open up the chat. Yes. We showed that, right? Look at that. That's just crazy, man. All right, we'll come out of that. Got the Iranians free. See if there's anything new that just comes up before I get out of here. Border Patrol. It's all Border Patrol. Democrats, Republicans fighting. There's really nothing going on. Except on this morning show, if you remember, we showed some really serious video. We showed the best we could the 30,000 heroes that were killed in Iran, and they're in body bags. It's very sad to watch, but we watched that. So if you're interested in that, go over there and look at that. We also have the video of Ilhan Omar, Ilhan Omar, getting a needle sprayed at her from some crazy nut job. Go check that out too. I think we're done. Let me just do the flight tracker before we leave, see if anything's changed. Nope, I don't see nothing. The military is not showing their planes, which is good. Oh, here we go. India. So Indian Air Force, that's okay. It's over here in India. Not really a problem. Yeah. It's going to be quite interesting. Quite interesting. Oh, China. You got to wonder if China turned their back on Russia, right? It seems like he's, a lost child or something. Putin, he just seems so lonely and out of it. He really did make a mistake, right? He made a mistake going after Ukraine. He just did. I mean, the same thing's going to happen to him that happened to the Soviet Union back in, was it 89, 90, 91? It's the same thing. They were trying to keep up with us with a war. They were spending and spending and spending and spending. nobody could outspend the United States. We're the number one economy. You know, I mean, we make 37 trillion, and other countries like maybe 800 million. You know, couple trillion, but we are way above that. All right, flight tracker. Here, what do we got going on? Way off. What's this? A drone? I think this is, U.S. Navy, United States Navy. Yeah, it's a drone. It's an MQ-4C drone. You can see that right there. And an NQ-4C Triton. Well, let's take a look at that before we get off of here, right? Let's see what the hell they're talking about. What do they got up there watching the skies? There we go. That quick, ladies and gentlemen, that quick. All right. So this is the Northrop Grumman MQ-4C Triton is a high altitude, long endurance, unmanned aerial vehicle. So yeah, this is it right here. Badass drone. Check that out. Yeah. That's why people can't beat America, folks. We have these crazy things flying around everywhere. Look at that, babe. So that is flying right now. That's very interesting. That's flying right now. And it turned off. It turned off. Look, it's gone. It turned off its IFR, whatever they call it. Wow, very interesting. Wow, how did that happen? Let me refresh it. They just turned off, U.S. military just turned themselves off. You can't see them anymore. Holy fuck. What? China. Nothing's going on. All right, well, you know what? That means I'll freaking be back tomorrow. And I am RJ Smith. And it's been good, man. I'm so proud. I'm just so happy to have you here. Please hit the like and the subscribe. I don't want your money. I just want you to like and subscribe so this can go out to more people. And we can knock up those subscribers to 100,000. That's all I've got for you tonight. I will see all y'all right in the morning, 9 a.m. Be there or be square.